3 months ago, President Bola Tinubu enacted the Access to Higher Education Act, fulfilling a key campaign promise. Signed into law on April 3, 2024, the legislation establishes the Nigeria Education Loan Fund to manage the new student loan scheme. Here at the presidential villa, the president receives an update on the scheme's progress so far and launches the portal.
We've had 160,000 direct portal hits, 98,000 applications. Actually, sir, that number's gone up to 110,000. And our current exposure is 32 billion naira to the people who really need this type of money and for the right thing. So there's a consistent increase in registrations, a steady growth rate, suggesting an influx of new applicants continuously. One is contingent on the other because you can't apply for the upkeep unless you've applied for the fees.
The interest-free scheme aims to make tertiary education more accessible by providing loans to cover tuition and living expenses. President Tinubu emphasizes the critical role of education in combating poverty, insecurity, and in fostering national development.
Without education, you cannot even successfully conquer poverty, insecurity, and abuse in the society. Education is that light at the end of the tunnel.
Commitment to ensuring its success.
The tool is available, and the hope is here, genuine and commitment. Inclusiveness is what democracy is all about, and building an inclusive society.
He also inquires about the sufficiency of funds for the scheme.
At this stage, you may ask if you have enough funding to disburse to the students who had applied. May I ask that question?
Your Excellency, you certainly may. At this stage, we have more than enough funding. When we start to promote this properly, we will probably need more. But right now, we can disburse to every single person who has applied.
The managing director also addresses journalists on the eligibility criteria and transparency measures of the scheme.
Opportunity for students to apply for these loans apply only to students applying to tertiary institutions owned by government. By tertiary institution, we mean universities, colleges of education, otherwise known as teacher training colleges, and polytechnics.
However, there are skeptics. The president of the University Lecturers Union has questioned the scheme's practicality and sustainability. Data also indicates higher interest in the scheme from the northern parts of the country.
That's where the leaning is currently. But, that's to be expected because, they seem to be very well organized in terms of networking in the northern part of the country. In the southern part of the country, there's growing awareness and there's growing interest. And I think there's been a lot of skepticism.
For the Student Union, this marks a new era and the promise fulfilled.
And we, as Nigerian students, will call it a new dawn in the education sector. During the presidential disbursement today, you can see people who applied. Whatever background you belong to, you can access the loan. It was so transparent. Once you apply, you get it.
The high point of the event was the presentation of checks to the students and institutions who have successfully applied. Repayment of the loans will begin 2 years after the completion of the mandatory National Youth Service Corps program, with flexible options for those who are unemployed. Adesua Omoruan, Arise News.